All right, here we go. Right, it seems to just be me at the moment, but I'll set it up anyway. Okay. Well, welcome to episode 14 of the If You Know You Know podcast. Joining us this week is the Wanderer himself, the man who has travelled about 630 miles in the last few days. That's how much I love dancing Kayleys. And joining me, the man who I can only assume will likely be my guest on the next episode, pending a clutch immunity win. It's Lenny Greenfield. Lenny?
Hello.
Oh! That's right, we're together. Wow, that is that's exactly how what a surprise for our viewers.
You know, never thought you'd see the day.
Reunited, we're finally back together. Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we still got that chemistry.
I was surprised when you rocked up on my flat. Just 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
knocking on the door, but
gave him no prior notice at all. I'm just lucky he wasn't doing anything tonight. Speaking of someone that is doing something tonight, unfortunately, we don't have our eliminated player, Will Jeffrey, on tonight. Unfortunately, we will endeavour to get you him. Unfortunately, he's busy tonight, as he does seem to be most nights.
He's a hard man to pin down, and unfortunately, the only night he could do, Mike was returning to do a quiz and curry at a uni that he should have left 6 years ago.
Yes, but it was worth it though, because we did win. So I assume you read the recap.
I skimmed it.
You skimmed the first up, and then
obviously I get all the notifications because Faris tags me every week, so it's quite hard to avoid it.
Is it a better or like worse notification than when you get tagged at everyone in the SCU group?
It's better than the at everyone. I'm surprised I'm still in the SCU group. To be honest,
I got a cheeky little tag from that. I think it was yesterday when I was on the train.
Yeah, a little everyone. Do you know what? I'm gonna leave as soon as we get off this recording. I'm gone.
Oh, so as we said, we will of course endeavour to get you your proper exit interview with Will. I know he is one of the more hotly requested players from Southampton.
A star of the show.
Yeah, definitely one of the bigger characters, and a lot of people heartbroken this week to see him leave. But we will. I think we'll do our best to eulogise him here, and then I think we'll get a deep dive with Will as and when. But we'll make that its own separate entity. I think.
I'm sure when I go out very soon, he can come on my episode.
Well, we could definitely get into that, because I think it is only a matter of time. When I was trying to think of ways to start this podcast, I mean, based on how we've ended up doing it, it's we had such a home run on our hands. But if we were doing it just over the over Zoom, I think I would have requested us to just sit in silence for a few moments, just to mourn the inevitable death of Lenny's game.
It's quite a horrible position to be in, where you're just there, and now you just know death's coming to you. Essentially, there's nothing I can do. The cards are so stacked against me at this point that,
oh god, you just know that your game's over.
Yeah. My only hope is that everyone just goes fucking mental at the next round, and somehow me and Strav end up back on top.
Well, I mean, who's in the game? You got Sock and Lucy both still in the game. Like, there's every chance that something happens.
I think Holly, Chris, and Divvy are very tight. Not Holly. Chris, Divvy, and Isaac very tight.
Well,
and,
I mean,
Holly clearly, the rat she is, will do anything for those three. So I don't see her being pulled away anytime soon.
Well, I think we're going to have a lot of opinions thrown about this episode.
And unfortunately, that's half the tribe. So we're fucked. We're fucked. Me and Strav are fucked, and clearly by that, Lucy and Sock also fucked.
Yeah, that is I mean, we saw Isaac laying it down in the episode. Like, he's got that core three, and yet it seems as though you've got Holly and Lucy and Sock that have just kind of globbed onto that.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good. But we can talk it out. We can try and decide who we think absolutely blew it this episode, who we think maybe made a smart decision, because we try and figure it out from other people's perspectives. Should we just hop straight into it? I mean, obviously no Will this week, so there's no point fully going back. So
No.
I think just,
Just
solidly
get into
straight
it.
into the episode. So first of all, before we get to Community Challenge, we have an idol that is an idol clue that is distributed. So, well, Lenny, you're the player that we've got here. You aren't looking for the idol.
No. Do you know what? I just, at the time, and this isn't good gameplay, I was just looking at them all rummaging around the trees and just thinking, what fucking losers. I'm going to keep my dignity and I'm going to stand in the garden with Strath, just chatting away. And that's actually, if you ever play the game, that's actually bad gameplay.
Right, okay.
So don't do that. But yeah, I thought I thought I was above it, which
Wow.
had I had the idol, maybe I'd still be having a chance at this game. So
Yeah, do you know what? It would be really useful for you to have that idol right
yeah,
now.
no, absolutely. So yeah, can only apologise to Will for not trying to find it, because that would have kept him in.
I mean, I would say general idol etiquette. I think, we saw this a little bit with Zhao earlier on in the game. It's typically frowned upon if you leave to go and look for the immunity idol and no one else is looking and people catch you doing it.
Yeah,
But if everyone's doing it at the same time, I feel like it's,
it's more fair game.
yeah, full license to do it. I'm surprised that, why do you think Strath wasn't looking?
I don't know what I would have done if I was in Strath's position, trying to tell everyone that I'd give out the clue. I'd also have a look and see if I can find the idol as well, because then it's actually just a win-win. Because I know the clues, having the clue saved him for one round, but imagine having the idol to save you for another round. Actually, twice the protection.
I tell you, it would be really useful also if Strath had an idol right now.
Yeah, no, yeah. Watching this episode back, it is quite brutal.
Did you get a good look at the clue in the end?
Yeah, I mean, me and Strath were just holding it.
Would you have found it straight away? Because obviously we see, 6 players just looking in the wrong place
No,
for quite a long time.
I think if I would have been able to find it straight away, I would have walked over and picked it up.
Okay.
I think the fact is, it wasn't clear which tree it was, and I thought that if it was easy to find on a tree, that someone would have found it straight away, which turns out is true. That's what Chris did. As soon as he walked over to the tree, he found it. So unfortunately, I was misled there by the fact that there's just 6 idiots on the tribe who couldn't find it.
I'm not sure. Did they all claim that everyone had followed Will to look for it or something like that?
But yeah, but you just think for yourself.
Yeah, I would say for all future players out there, if you're looking for an idol and Will Jeffrey's also looking for that idol, I'd look somewhere else.
Also, don't follow someone else, because if they find it, you're just going to be slightly behind them.
Yeah, so some rogue searching for people. I think also, yeah, like take the time. If it's this was also our first map clue, Lenny. Pretty much every other clue we've had, definitely in season 1, was all verbal clues, riddles, etc. Ones that have been written by me in seconds. Whereas this one,
they just pop into your head fully formed.
yeah, I mean, I think I try and get a vague rhyme. I think we've seen Lucy's idol clue. We saw that earlier in the game. I think I was trying to make some kind of stair necessities reference, but I don't think too much rhymes with necessities.
I remember the DJ Hero 2 one being quite good.
I think that one was come up with, yeah, in seconds as well. This idol though, was this one? I'm trying to remember when this one was hidden. This one must have been hidden at the start of the day. Yes, because so Strath gets the clue for having the second most votes at that tribal council. So the idol that is found later in this episode that we'll get to, that had, as Lucy asked in tribal council, that had been there since the start of the game.
That's crazy. I'm surprised that no one counted the balloons. Like, could when you were like, if you like tap the balloon, could you feel like there's something in there?
The reason why I used a brown balloon is because if it was one of the, like, if it was a yellow one, you'd probably be able to like
see through it.
Yeah, the sun might have hit it at the right angle, which maybe would have been even cooler because like you're there
Imagine
at
you're
tribal
sat-
council.
oh,
Yeah, you're
that'd
looking
be
at me, and then you're just
unbelievable.
like, hang on, what's next to Mike? And then like you're trying to see if anyone else has also noticed it. Yeah, well, season 3.
Season 3. I'll be
Season
checking.
3.
I'm checking every fucking balloon.
Yes. Are you impressed with Big Dog finding that idol just immediately?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a genius. I'm gonna say it. Or he follow a map, a fairly simple map, very very well.
Yeah, I think very impressive upon watching it back. He was just dicking about with Max, and then he's just like, well, these guys are idiots. to the point where, so I'd been one of the people filming. So you got Noel doing some filming, I'm doing some filming, Max doing some filming at the time, because obviously everyone's aware that there's an idol out there. So I'm just like, let's make sure that we catch it being found. Unlike Holly's one, where she doesn't pull a camera person off with them, which was irritating. But God bless Max or Oscar, whoever it was, for happening to capture that, because they did not realise that they were capturing it at the time.
Yeah, I liked your little voiceover. To be fair, I thought that was quite cool.
Did you? Okay, because
on Holly finding it.
When I was watching it back, I was just like, this is now feeling creepy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was okay.
Okay, all right. It towed the line then. No Clark, textbook towing of the line. Yeah. So Big Dog finds it immediately, but Lenny gets ratted out.
Yeah. If I was Big Dog, I'd be absolutely fuming at Lucy for doing this. Absolutely fuming. There's zero need to do it.
Well, it seems like the kind of like impulsive move that, you know, we've sort of known Lucy for in this game, and I think it makes the game a lot more exciting. However, if Lucy had taken a second to think about it, do you reckon it might have been smarter for her to be like, maybe I won't tell anyone? Or because it was Big Dog and maybe because he's part of that alliance anyway, would it have always just come out?
I don't know. I feel like, especially for this round, I don't think we stir up as much of a fuss about Chris. I don't think he has to. I don't think he'd ever end up playing it. So I feel like there it probably starts the demise of that idol going
Yes.
straight away, and I think he'd still have it for future rounds if that hadn't happened. Because there's no way me or Strath or Will finds out about it otherwise.
Big Dog had the most power of anyone in the game at that time, so I think calling him out very publicly is a risk from Lucy. But maybe that was what it was that gave you and Strath and Will the kick that you needed to. Oh wow,
That is like right outside the window.
Yeah, maybe it's what gave you the kick that you needed to actually target Isaac. Yeah, so just for the benefit of the listener, we are recording this not on bonfire night, not on fireworks night, the night before.
But they've been going mental on this road for the past week and a half. Like they're just setting them off all hours of the day. I absolutely love it. Just setting them out off on the road by the cars. As I was walking home the other day. So.
All right, so we'll be contending with intermittent fireworks throughout this this podcast recording. So, be excited by that.
But luckily the pigeons aren't on the roof, so
yeah. Well,
at least
hopefully we won't still be going at that time in the morning. I think the immunity challenge is next up, Lenny. Finding out that it's Mulkey.
I was hyped. It's one that I'd fully back myself to get immunity on.
You didn't get a chance last season, of course, because
I was voted out.
Well, you weren't voted off early for the
Oh.
redemption challenge, and you just
The thing is,
taken out before final four.
They're lucky they took me out because I was winning that challenge, 100%.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I remember Oscar coming on the podcast last week and claiming that he definitely would have won that challenge before we told him that no, you were actually in that challenge and you didn't win. So maybe you wouldn't.
No, but a former bad boy of Mulkey, you're going to struggle to beat.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking to the current bad boy of Milky, and I
only ever held by two people. Actually,
I played Mulkey recently with some friends that initially introduced me to it, and we played like a big boys v girls thing, and I clutched it up for the boys.
Oh, really?
I won us the game. I think we needed to hit 5, and I hit the 5, which won us the game. And we absolutely dominated. But then we played like an individual knockout thing, and I was the second person eliminated out of like 20. So,
is that because you were more of a target though?
No, because in the individual knockout, we were still, no one was targeting each other, but we were all aiming for the pins.
Right.
And I missed them twice in a row. So I was eliminated.
I'll do it.
So yeah, the ability comes and goes, I find, for me, but perhaps maybe you're a bit more consistent than I am. Well, or clearly you are, given how many throws that you had to make in that challenge, and you kept hitting yourself. So yeah, a very impressive performance from you there. As we're watching it back, Lenny, as we just did, which paints a very cozy picture of us for the listeners out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was cozy.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, it was quite chilly actually. Maybe we'll snuggle up under the duvet for any future episodes. But yeah, you mentioned a little strategy that you'd come up with that you allude to at Tribal Council.
Yeah, so, well, I think Isaac knocked one of mine over, but me and Strath and Isaac were still on the most lives, so pulled him over and was just like, boys, let's just get everyone else out, and then we'll fight out between the three of us, but let's make sure at the end. And It actually worked very well, and it worked even better because then I accidentally knocked out Isaac.
Yeah, that's a very funny elimination for Isaac. There was no editing trickery there. That was done one shot after the other. Absolutely immaculate.
Yeah, and worked out perfectly for me and Strath. And it's the only reason we're both still in the game. So
Yeah, it could have been a big game changer as well if Isaac had been the one that was taken out at that tribal council. Just those random miss throws from you and Divya being what actually eliminated from the game. So yeah, it could be extremely fine margins. Also, you're welcome for the immunity because I think that was the one that I was going into it. And I was just like, do you know what? I haven't actually planned how many people are going to win immunity in this one. So it's completely on a whim that I said two
It
people.
did sound like you were making it up at the time. But
Yeah.
I would have been in Strath, so it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, you might have had it anyway. But would it? Let's say you did win. Would that? Do you think in all of the chaos that was that vote, would it have reflected on Strath?
I think, Strath would probably go out.
Strath probably goes.
Yeah.
Do you reckon had Strath won and you not won, would it have turned around quickly enough to take you out?
I don't think I would have done the same plan.
Oh, okay.
I think I was doing it under the fact that I was immune, so at least it couldn't completely backfire and for me to get voted out. So I think I was waiting for a chance where I was immune, and then Strath being immune as well. I was like, it's the time to strike.
Yeah, cherry on top of the cake. Okay, so but during that challenge, Lenny, and maybe you should have been a little bit more aware of what was happening. Wow,
That's a good one, to be fair.
that's really right outside the window. I feel like they're giving you a really, really good view and not many other people at all.
Who else is it for?
It's like exclusively for whoever's looking out this window.
We'll try and get it on film. If it happens again, I reckon we get a shot of it. But it's genuinely right outside my window.
Yeah,
Just there.
Lenny's very high up in this house flat
It's like a big house.
apartment complex.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like eight flats, but
Right.
It's sort of built like just a house, though, isn't it?
For all of our recurring viewers, you would have of course seen 2 tours of Lenny's room now. So you've got a good idea that he's living at the top of the building. Who did we have? We had was it Fat Roberts that we had on, and he asked for a tour, and then we had Oscar the next week who then also asked for a tour.
Why is he called Fat Roberts? What's that all about?
Oh yeah, we should have got him to talk about it. It's because his car number plate is, I think it's FXT.
Right. Did you start this?
No, it was Big Ratch actually that started it.
Oh, okay.
But I think we were on the way to the tournament and we just kept seeing him, like he was just constantly like in front of and then behind us. So it was just a big target for us. And then just Fat Roberts. It was just he's also just not fat, which just it just makes
it's quite mean if he
if he
is.
was fat, then we probably wouldn't call him Fat Roberts. That would be inappropriate.
Yeah, there was a guy on my football team when I was like 14 who everyone just called Fat Jack.
Was he fat?
Yeah.
Did you make him go and goal?
No, he.
Oh wow.
He played striker, but some games he just wouldn't get subbed on by our coach. So it's actually very mean. Looking back, I don't think that should be that sort of thing should happen.
Bench warmer Jack.
But poor Jack. He was a bit of a prick when he got older, so
okay.
I'd say it all evens out.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Well, I'm glad that he didn't get to play much football then.
Yeah, though it didn't stop us losing anyway.
Yeah.
We were one of the shittest teams in the North Hampshire region. Once went 18 months without a win. Once lost every game in a year, actually. Our goal difference, like 18 games, our goal difference was like minus 170. Like, we were diabolical.
What was your most crushing loss?
We lost one 14-0 where we had 10 to start with, and then one of our players went off injured. This is against like second in the league, and then they just demolished us. We had 9.
Oh no!
There was one game where we lost like 8-0, and I scored 2 own goals. And gave away a penalty, and then after giving away the penalty, I just said to the coach like, I was like, I'm coming off. Just stick someone else on the pitch. I'm not playing anymore. What a career I had. The Chinham Tigers, long live.
Oh well, thankfully your ability with your feet did not convert into your throwing ability for Morky.
No, yeah.
There we go. Straight back on track.
I will say it wasn't down to me that we were losing. We had a lot of chaff in the team as well. wasn't all my fault.
Well, it's glad to see that you were able to hone your skills during all of the five-a-side that you got up to.
Though I did join an equally as bad football team at uni with Max Berline, and well, they also hadn't won in like a year and a half.
Right. Okay.
Until we beat Asian Invasion at Wide Lane 5-2. Your boy got 2 goals.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, any more footballing exploits?
No, that's it. Obviously, up the Southampton Reds.
Yeah. Who was it that you played? Was it like
American football?
Yeah, that was it. Okay.
3-0 win.
Yeah.
Well, they forfeited at half time. They didn't want any more.
So Holly finds an idol, but who walks up as this is getting found? But one large barking dog.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine if it was Lucy in there instead of Holly, we would have found about that straight away.
Yeah. Big Dog had learnt from the earlier mistake of yelling out about people's idols. So, I mean, yeah, this could be a big game changer, Lenny. Holly appearing to be in the majority alliance, but at the bottom of that majority alliance, based on, I mean, certainly based on your interpretation of the game up till this point.
I feel like that's got to make her feel very, very safe at this point.
Yeah, that is true. Could lead to a big swing later, because surely it'll get to the point where if Isaac's plan goes right, then it'll get down to sort of 4 or 5.
And Holly will know
that
she's coming up.
Although at that point the idol's use would have run out, as they...
Well, that's true.
They will run out of final 5. Yeah,
I can see it coming out then.
All right, get excited for that final 5 vote where Holly...
I won't be there. I'll be filming.
This guy will be on the jury, but I'm sure he'll have a great reaction when he finds out that Holly's had an idol the whole time. How many people left? Yeah, 8. Oh,
8, yeah.
You've got a lot of work to to get to 5, let alone final 2 or maybe final 3. Who knows? Although I will say yes, it will be a final 2, of course, because that's way better than final 3.
Yeah, if I win from this point, it is a genuine miracle.
Yeah, it will be absolutely immaculate. I think we could put Strath in that bracket as well.
Strath, I'm going to say even more of a miracle.
Strath will feel less earned, I will say, based on his strategy this episode. Have we got anything else to get into before the strategy, actually?
Sock missing my handshake.
Oh,
painful to watch back. I forgot about it, and I had to relive that horror all over again.
Was that the worst thing you had to relive all episode, would you say?
I'd say the only thing worse than that is me and Oscar missing the heart in season 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
That's worse.
I thought you were going to say that the remaining sort of 40 minutes of the episode was even worse.
No, actually, do you know what? Yeah, that's a good point. I watched it just now for the first time with Mike, because I've been putting it off because I just really didn't want to watch this episode. It's so bad. And
he's been dreading this one.
And I sat there, and if Mike wasn't there and I was trying to watch it on my own, I think it probably would have taken like 8 separate attempts of me turning it off every time. It's clearly just not going my way at all.
There were a lot of moments where he had to pause it to swear at various players in the game.
It's absolutely brutal.
I've got an absolute classic here. Well, first of all, we see Big Dog, Isaac and Divya. Let's call them the Ruba 3 at this point, based on what Isaac's been laying out there. This is the core of the Ruba Alliance, which formerly included Lenny, but as of this episode, apparently no longer.
Rest in peace, the Ruba 4.
Rest in peace, the Ruba 4. Well, I mean, it kind of was a Ruba 3, but now you're out, Divya's in, and now also you're out, and Sock and Holly have been invited in.
Yeah, the Ruba 5.
Yeah. I kept pushing people to give names to these alliances, and no one would. Which means that I guess it'll be up to me.
The rest of the game, surely it's just Ruba and then however many numbers Chris and Isaac are having at that point.
Yeah, so whoever Big Dog is claiming to be in the alliance in that episode will be, that'll be the core Ruba. So first of all, we see, it looks like, it's going to be a fairly straight shot at Sock here. Everyone's just like, okay, well, Strat's immune. So obviously default target at this point is Sock. We see the Ruba 3 chatting about this, and it seems like everyone's fairly well aligned. So not looking great for Sock. But then, well, we see Strath and Lucy and Sock having a bit of a nothing conversation. But then
I come in to save the day. I saved Sock's life, laying out one of the greatest plans of all time. You're watching the episode and you're thinking, this is bloody genius, what he's doing here.
So why don't you talk us through it, Lenny?
So, yeah, well, my thoughts were at this point in the game that there's some big players. I'm obviously not a trusted man, and I haven't been in these circles for a long time. So I know at some point that they're going to turn on me, and my thought is I'll get the some would say chaffier players in the game to rise up and flip the tables and vote out this strong alliance, pick them off, and then the game's wide open. Then anything can happen, anyone can win. But at the moment, I think everyone will agree it looks like Chris and Isaac are going to win. And I thought everyone would be fully on board to take out that big alliance. Yeah, well, I didn't quite factor in the fact that no one would do that. That was my mistake.
So I would say, yeah, I think Survivor 101, the basics are you find a group of people to work with, and then you vote together and you eliminate the other players and you get to the end. All right. That's season 1 Survivor. Okay. You know, that's going on in the year 2000. Okay. 4 people get together and then they just vote together for the whole game, and then they're the final 4. Very simple. However, now we're getting into sort of season 6 territory, where you realise, wait, hang on a sec. If the further we get into the game, sure, I'm with this alliance, but when we get down to final 4, I'm going to be the first one that gets voted out. So then you have to gather together everyone else that isn't in that group, and then you turn on the original group.
And now you're the top dog.
Yeah, and now you're at the top of the new alliance, which I feel like you laid out quite nicely for Holly. You made that clear. I think the real question is whether we think Holly made a good decision or a bad decision, which I think we can make some passionate arguments for and against.
Yeah, I think out of all of them, I think Holly had the best reason to stick with the Reds.
Tell us about sort of the plan as it's developing. Like last episode, we saw you pulling in Strath.
Yeah.
Like who were your other candidates?
So I think it was me, Strath, and Will were like. So Strath was like, Will be on board. I think we might have chatted to Will. Will seemed to be game. So we've got the 3 of us, and then we're looking. Obviously, we're not putting in Isaac, Big Dog, or Divya, so that rules out 3. And we're looking at the rest of the 3 and thinking, which one's most likely to swing over?
Yeah, you've got Holly, Sock, and Lucy, and you need 2 of them.
And so my thoughts were, well, Holly's a very smart girl. She's going to see that this is an excellent opportunity, and
a former Blue as well.
Blue,
yeah.
And I think she'd jump on board with that kind of thing. And then Lucy, I thought she keeps talking about how Big Dog doesn't trust her. She said in this episode she was very worried about the Big Red 3.
Yeah, unprompted as well. Yeah.
I thought that'd be a good candidate, and then I wasn't as keen on Sock because I just assumed he would go straight away and tell the other 3.
Right, okay.
But that turned out to be Holly, so apologies, Sock, for not getting you in on the plan.
Well, I mean, that was going to be one of my main questions of the episode. Like, why not pull in Sock?
Yeah, I watching back, I should have tried. It should have just gone for all six possible and hoped that 5 of them stuck. But yeah, I think maybe there would have been more of a chance if I had Sock on board, because I mean, obviously he's very chaotic, but yeah, if Sock comes our way, does Lucy also come our way?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because how cognizant were you at the time of Sock and Lucy working together? Because we see Sock outing that alliance to Will, which I guess that information, along with the information that Holly found that idol, is another thing that dies with Will in this game.
Yeah, Will, I don't think Will trusted me at all, despite the fact I'm really fighting in his corner. I've given up a good position to come fight with him and Strath, and I don't think either of them actually want to give me the information they have, which is...
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Will found that out a bit later on, but yeah, Will also seems to be interested in working with Lucy, not necessarily with Sock. What is it about Sock? Because clearly no one really wants him in the game.
Yeah, but no one wants him in, but no one desperately wants him out.
Right,
I think,
okay.
But he is just sort of sat there with no alliances, which again, I should have just pulled him in. I think he would have been chomping at the bit for to be in an alliance.
Because what I'm thinking is, if you pull him in like towards the start, like maybe what Strath should have done when he was chatting with them, if you pull him in, then it at least gives him that opportunity to have that chat with Lucy, and then maybe one of them can convince the other.
Just pull him in and just be like, me, you, Strath, Will, alliance, all 4 of us, get on board. But yeah, no, I think that's a blunder on my part.
But But I think maybe what you're not anticipating and what you still weren't quite understanding whilst watching it back was that I think from their perspective, like they don't really like Big Dog isn't winning any challenges and neither's Divya. Like Isaac's winning a few, but they're not threatened by them in the way they're threatened by you and Strath. There's two players that keep winning these challenges, even though you have no, power in the game in terms of the strategy. They are like that's the thing that they're scared of, the fact that you're winning challenges and the fact that you're kind of it's as if you're influencing the game just by what you're saying, whereas actually it's kind of that silent majority of Isaac, Big Dog and Divya that are running things. And admittedly you were in that as well, but now you're claiming that you're not going to be with it anymore.
I think maybe they had more emphasis on challenges being more of a threat than, which I just obviously just completely disagree with, but I just sort of assumed that everyone would think the same way as me, which is probably also a bit of my downfall.
There's 3 big reasons why this plan failed. I think reason 1 is the fact that you and Strath win a lot of the challenges and you appear threatening in the game, so people don't want to work with you for that reason. Okay, the second point was I think you're maybe like assuming specific strategic and logical leaps from players when like not everyone has the exact same outlook on the game as you. I think that's the other thing. And then thirdly, and I think this was kind of the big thing, you're trying to, in this plan, I know you didn't put in Sock, but it would kind of involve getting Sock to work with Strath and Lucy to work with Will.
Yeah, which, a lot of rivalry there. But I just thought everyone would be keen to vote out the big guns.
But I mean, is this the beauty of what Big Dog's done? Like, he's kept enough players in the game that they're just not going to work with each other. Like, last episode, we were just like, is there any reason why Big Dog's keeping in Sock over Oscar? Is there any reason for that? And it turns out, well, Sock was with in this episode, and Oscar would not have been.
Yeah. Oh, why did we vote out Oscar?
Well, I mean, it would have been either Oscar or Strath in the last episode, so I think it's the same outcome there.
But could Oscar have done something different?
I think if you pull him in earlier, I think he's going to be more helpful this episode to you than Strath is.
Should have kept him fucking null, to be honest. If you're going to make it work, you need that rat in the game. But he thinks the same way as me.
Yeah, he's with you, but then he's
obviously he'd vote me out as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's just whether he chooses to vote you out first, and then
I think he'd be up for taking them out, but I'm glad I voted out Noel. I've got no regrets because I have beaten him at this point. So
I think that's
if you're watching this, Noel.
Yeah, is that just always the issue with a player like Noel? Is that you can trust them to work with you until it's not in their best interest, and then they will turn on you before it's worth it.
I mean, that's probably the problem with me as well in the game. So I can see why that would be a reason for people not wanting to join my cause.
Yeah, potentially. I mean,
I have the exact same reputation, but I said in the episode I'd rather go out swinging than just dying a slow death at 4 or 5. 8th place isn't bad.
I mean, well, the other question is this too early, Lenny? So I think we can assume, based off what we saw from the start of the strategy session, that if you do nothing here, Sock leaves.
Yeah.
So is there then an opportunity in the next vote?
So my thought is that and this might be a stupid thought, that it's just easier to vote people out like this when there's an odd number of people in the game.
That is true. At Final 8, you're still going to need 5 players, aren't you?
So I thought it's either going to be now or we keep going until we get to 7. But at 7, is Strath still in? Are we going to be immune? So I thought me and Strath being immune gave us the perfect opportunity to go for it, and I'd at least survive one more round, because I think I genuinely would never have watched this episode back if at the end of it I also got voted out of the game. I just would have refused, and Mike would have just had to get someone else on.
No, I would have still come down here. It would just be, I'd be recording this right now on your phone and you'd be sat over there, just not contributing.
Just shouting insults at various players throughout the game.
I would like to, at this moment, just take an opportunity to commend Will here, because I think, other than a couple of missteps this episode, I think you could argue that based off the gameplay we saw tonight, arguably with the outside of you and Big Dog, the best strategic player remaining in the game.
Yeah.
I think you found a good ally there. He knew the plan. He knew what to do. He knew which people to tell, which people to not talk to, which people to give the fake plan to. I think a very strong effort from Will.
Yeah. Do you know what? If we ever did it again, I would seek out Will and try and get him on board. I reckon early, because.
Do you think? I think. Oh.
I mean, he doesn't trust me, but I think you want someone like that that's just going to help you out.
I think Will just ended up being, in this episode, and I'm not sure we saw it in every episode, but just a very good player in this episode. So yeah, I wanted to commend you for
get him in.
Yeah, making that alliance. I think you picked up the right person at the right time there, and I think it was a very good budding alliance.
Yeah, and it caused his demise.
Yeah, it definitely was what made him get voted off.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
So it's unfortunate to see Will go. At this point, from a viewing perspective, would you rather Will or Sock go? I think either way, it's a big loss for the viewers.
Yeah, they're both just. I personally, I just think Sock is unbelievably. I mean, what was it? Tinny Tin Teeth.
It's an all-time. It only didn't make Sock. It only wasn't the episode title because also Big Dog had a great quote, which worked, but I just couldn't understand what you were saying until Lenny was just like, has he conflated the hairs on my chinny chin chin with the skin on my teeth, thus making the skin on my tinny tin teeth?
It was just beautiful. The only highlight in what was a horrible episode for me. It's the only 10 seconds I enjoyed.
But every time I watched that confessional back, I just laughed so much. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what? I will say, I'd rather Sock stay than Will in this episode because Will didn't send me a confessional for this episode. So that's for you, Will.
That's not on.
If you'd have been in there just like mouthing off about who would it have been? I guess maybe, I don't know, Lucy a bit, Holly a bit, just anyone that you thought might not work with you in this vote, then it would have been a lot harder to see you go because you didn't send me a confession in this episode. Then, there you go.
Flat.
So, Lenny, you have this conversation with Holly and Will. All right. Will seems like, he's chill. He wants Isaac gone anyway. He's been pushing for Isaac for a while now, specifically. Which, can we stop down here? Because Isaac appeared to be the one person in the game who Will actually had any kind of working relationship with. So... So you say you would seek out Will in the next game you play, but I'm not sure that would be the smart idea, to be honest. You only want to seek him out just at the perfect time for him to take the fall for you, like in this season. So Will gunning for Isaac, seems to be on board. Holly's saying all the right things.
Yeah.
It looks like you've at least explained the plan to her. You then call over Lucy, but at this exact time, Holly slithers.
Without a thought.
Yeah.
Without a thought. To think that she was speaking to me and was just like, I'm about to wrap this man. I'm about to screw this man over. Despicable. I just didn't have Holly as someone that would be able to lie that well. And do you know what? Fair play to her. Like, it's actually very impressive that I just didn't think for a second it'd be Holly that would be the one to rat me out. I just assumed it would have been Lucy or maybe Strath, to be honest.
Yeah, it could easily have been Strath. He might have just told Big Dog.
But yeah, I didn't for a second think Holly would be that conniving.
Lenny, I did write down a quote from you as we were watching this episode about Holly. This is when Holly has just gone over to Isaac and Big Dog and is saying that she promised to work with you and Will, but you, Strath and Will are forming alliance, and that's the danger. And you said, you paused it and said, "You fucking prick, you're talking to the danger."
Sorry, I didn't mean it quite that harsh, Ollie. I'm very sorry. Just in the sense of the game, fuck you. But, I mean, you definitely are speaking to the danger there. But I think Holly, out of all of them, has the most case for actually being part of the danger. So
yeah, I mean, she's definitely got that in with Big Dog.
Yeah, I didn't realise how in she was with Big Dog. So I don't think Holly's. I don't think it's egregious from Holly to
But I mean, should we talk about it now? So, okay, so we've got Holly in the middle. Let's say, let's imagine Sock and Lucy aren't involved in this situation. Okay, so you've got Big Dog, who's like your close ally. Okay, you want to keep Big Dog in the game. You know that he's just found an idol, and he's also seen you find one. So you're feeling a lot of loyalty to Big Dog, especially in this moment. Then you've got Isaac and Divya, who are both kind of attached to Big Dog, but they're not really your close allies. And then on this other side, you've got Strath, who's the one that who's been the biggest threat. Like, he's not really a big threat to Holly specifically because Holly wanted him in the game yesterday, but has now come back into the game and has taken out all of Holly's previous allies. You've then got Will, who I don't think Holly's really had any relationship at all in this game.
Have they actually ever spoken?
I don't recall, other than the conversation that you're very much mediating.
Have they had a 1v1?
I don't remember any Holly-Will interaction in this game, and I'm sure one of our fans will correct me if I'm wrong. But when we touch wood, God bless, get Will on this podcast, I really want to know from him if he ever chatted to Holly this game. And when we eventually touch wood, maybe it'll be in the final, maybe beforehand, get Holly on, I want to know from her if she ever spoke to Will.
Do you know what? They've not chatted for the entire game, but Will felt that sense of loyalty to not tell anyone that she found an idol. Where's that come from?
Yeah, they're probably the two people this round that definitely should have linked up. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, if ever Holly needed an excuse to vote Will out of the game, it was Will handing it to run a silver platter at Tribal Council. Oh, no. But yeah, okay, so Holly you got Strath over there, who's a big threat, keeps winning the challenges. You got Will over there that's huge, who was able to single-handedly hold it. That's probably the one interaction they've had that game, when he was carrying her on his own in that challenge. And then finally, you've got Lenny, who you probably never fully trusted anyway.
Yeah.
Bit of a knoll. Everyone's just like, he's conniving, he's big threat.
Bastard.
And now he's suddenly linked up with these two guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So from Holly's side, it's kind of 3 on one side, 3 on the other. But these 3 are the big guys that are going to win the challenges. They seem to be the one that are kind of doing all the talking, coming up with the plans. So,
but yeah, I just don't think challenges. Yeah, I just didn't think challenges anyone would care about. I think that's because I don't care who wins the challenges.
Yeah, it's not something that factors into it much for me either. Because the thing, like, if you've got an alliance, you're never going to have everyone in the alliance winning immunity.
Yeah.
In normal Survivor, maybe in Survivor Southampton, you have more than one person that wins immunity, but it's never going to be like half the tribe, is it?
No.
So it's rare that you're going to have a whole alliance that's safe. So like you'll always be able to take out someone from the opposite alliance, which is, because you and Strath were safe, but they still took out Will.
Yeah.
So I think immunity, challenge strength, etc. is overvalued, especially in a game like Survivor where I wouldn't say there's some luck in them, but typically in like the American version, it's a lot of kind of carnival games, like balancing a ball on like a platform. There's a lot of that.
You're never going to get someone that wins every single challenge.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a chance to vote someone off.
100%. Like no one's going to Beth Jeffrey it. Like sure, she won 8 immunity challenges in season 1, but I think she was fair game at final 4.
Yeah, like there was chances to vote her out.
Yeah, it's very rare that someone will win out. Like the most anyone has ever won in American Survivor is 5.
Yeah.
So
and that's
and like the mergers start at like 12 or 13 in some of those seasons. So yeah, it's extremely unlikely that someone's going to be safe all the way through. However, I don't know if Holly's picking between 1, 3 and another 3.
Oh, she probably made the right call, to be honest. And from Holly's perspective, not mine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I probably, if I was Holly, I think I'd make the same decision. But you're still a rat.
Yeah. And obviously Holly doesn't necessarily know exactly how tight Isaac, Big Dog and Divya are. In fact, I think it's still a bit ambiguous to us who exactly Big Dog would be most loyal to out of that group.
I think, to me being in that group, it's very clear that those 3 are the tight 3, but I guess not everyone else is certain of that. So,
okay, I think it's time to give Big Dog some props though.
God, he's good.
Because based off this chat with Holly, he then immediately flips the vote onto Will.
Yeah.
What do we think of this? Is this inspired gameplay from Big Dog?
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely the right play, isn't it? Yeah. Poor Will, but
yeah,
it would have been stupid to carry on going for Sock, because this basically guarantees that Sock will hear a name that's not him and he'll jump on it. So...
Yeah, I think if Big Dog continues to go for Sock here, if he doesn't flip the vote to Will, does Isaac leave in this round?
Maybe. I mean, it's more of a chance because
I mean, at that point, Sock's only heard his own name, whatever fake name they give him, and
what
Isaac.
we give him. Yeah. So I think Sock more likely to come to us, and then more likely to get Lucy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Big Dog, he is running the show. He is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. So I think. I think Big Dog and Isaac come up with it about the same time. I think Big Dog. I think he gets it in a second earlier, so we'll give him the credit for. Isaac can thank Big Dog for that one.
Shout out Isaac for giving it his best effort, though.
Yeah. Isaac, he's
good.
He's getting there. He's getting there, but thankfully he didn't need to get there because Big Dog was already there.
Yeah.
On this occasion. Okay, we get a rather amusing chat between, so Strath is chatting to Divya. Okay. Do you want to talk us through this one, Lenny?
I don't want to think about it.
So
you're not helping our case.
So just to preface this, so you've rolled out the plan, okay? You've told Strath, you've told Will, you've told Holly, you've told Lucy, you just say, okay, the five of us are going to vote together. We're going to, Isaac, Big Dog, Divya, they're running the show. We're going to take the shot now at Isaac's going to be clinical. We can't let any of them know. Okay. Strath then goes to Divya.
If I had known Strath had done this, I would have been a lot more panicked in this tribal council trying to get people to our side. I would have, but yeah, I thought we were all being subtle.
And to be fair, I don't think this ever comes back to bite you. I think Divya just puts it in the vault and doesn't bring it up to any of the others. To be honest,
fair play. Cheers, Divya.
Yeah, Divya doing you a bit of a solid there. But so Strath's talking to Divya. He's saying, oh, maybe we take the shot at Big Dog and force him to play as idol, but we're actually going for Isaac. Then Isaac comes up, and then he has to be like, oh, let's go for Big Dog. And then Big Dog walks up, and at that point, I cut away. But I come back to it, and Strath just goes, do you guys want to talk? It's poor old Strath.
Just excellent gamesmanship.
Poor old Strath, probably the three worst in increasing order of how bad it would be if that person came up while you're telling someone else the plan. They come up one at a time to join in the conversation. Oh god. Okay, so then we I think flash forward at some point to you chatting with Holly and Sock, and this is where you have a chance to bring Sock in on the plan and you don't. And we've kind of discussed why, and it's because you think Sock's just going to tell the others.
Yeah. And I just assumed at this point that maybe Holly and Lucy would still be on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, a mistake. A lot of mistakes from me in this one. God, if only I'd played a flawless game, this podcast would have been much more fun.
Oh god, imagine how smug you could have been each episode. Just like, and this is why I did that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been doing so far.
Yeah.
When it's been working out, but...
So we hear from Strath, we get a confessional from Strath actually. He's saying that he's actually considering voting for Big Dog to try and flash out that idol. And initially, it seems to be a good bait.
Yeah.
The old bait and switch.
Yeah, and you know what? To be fair, it does end up flat getting the idol out. So I think it probably does cause enough chaos, but it doesn't help our actual plan. So
yeah, I think if anything, that might have disrupted it more than helping it.
Yeah.
Because like you're in chats, like Strath's in there with Will and Lucy, and he's like trying to change the plan and stuff.
And it's just confusing the people that might have otherwise voted with us. But you know, for the loss of Will, we at least got an idol out there. So
that's true. I mean, it could have been worse. You could have Will leave and the idol still in the game.
Yeah.
But I think it does bring us to the age-old question, Lenny. Is a public idol that everyone knows about better than having no idol at all?
I don't know. I think it's better to just get rid of it because you're such a threat with an idol. People just bring up your name. I think I would just play it straight away.
Yeah. So if, let's say, Big Dog keeps the idol, is he now the perfect person that next round you're just like, let's just get enough votes on Big Dog, flush the idol, and then hope that he doesn't play it? Or then,
That's probably what my game would have been.
Okay, we then see another masterstroke from Big Dog. He is speaking to Holly and Sock, and he suggests to them they're going to be replacing you in the alliance.
Yeah. That's how pivotal I am, by the way. 2 people. It takes 2 people to replace one of me.
Talk a little bit about why this is such a good move for like Holly and Sock, who at this point are kind of like sort of swing votes at this point.
Especially Sock, I think it really gets him on board. It makes him, feel safe. It's just a masterclass, really. Obviously, if you think about it for a second, it's quite hard to have 5 or 6 people in an alliance when there's going to be only 8 people left. But
yeah, I think maybe a bit short-sighted by probably by Sock, less so from Holly.
Yeah, but if you are just focusing on your own game, taking it one round at a time, then it is probably very, very promising.
I then got written here the skin of my tinny tin teeth, which we have covered, but
Fantastic.
Another nod to that.
Fantastic.
I think, we've said this isn't... Sock's made some rogue decisions this season, and maybe a couple of bad moments this episode, but this is definitely a big highlight for Sock here.
It might be quote of the season. Honestly, I can't remember any better. It's going to be something Sock said.
Yeah, at this point. Unless Will had a couple of absolute corkers in the first few episodes. I'll have to run it back. Someone in the comments will correct us, I'm sure. If you've got any episode season highlights for quotes, then
drop them in.
Yeah, drop them in the comments, message us, hit us up.
Email.
Yeah, email. Were you watching the live stream the other day where Will Jeffrey kept saying what his email was and for everyone to email him?
No. Oh, I should have emailed him arranging a time to do
yeah. No, I genuinely almost did.
What is it? Can you remember?
I think it ended with like 21 or 22. I can't remember, but we can just rewatch the live stream. When we get Will on the exit interviews, we'll ask for everyone to
shout out his email.
Yeah, we'll shout out his email, get everyone to send their fan questions.
Was it like a work email or just a?
It was his university account. But another misstep from Sock though, Lenny, as we were talking about it, he does tell Will that him and Lucy are playing together.
Yeah.
Causing a great Will jimming the camera.
I think I don't think anyone actually really is that aware of that at this point.
If you were to have been informed that at the time, would that in any way scare you, or would you trust that information at all? Would you just be like, no, I don't think so?
No, I'd be like definitely trying to get both Sock and Lucy on board.
Right.
Because like if they're together, then obviously get them both. But I think it's probably too late at that point.
Right. Okay. We're on Sock at the moment. Why don't we just discuss this episode from him? Because I think it would have been a great opportunity for him to jump on board, but I think the fact that you don't tell him, I don't think we can really poke too many holes in his game here. Yeah. Should we discuss it from Lucy's perspective?
Yeah, I think she might have been on board, but once you see that the sort of die is cast on Will going out, I think it's probably just the right thing to do to vote Will out as well.
I think she had the opportunity to have that litmus test. I think later on she has a conversation. I think Isaac's there, but Holly's there more importantly.
Yeah.
And Holly is very much not on board with the plan.
Yeah.
So I think that's enough to kind of scare her off it. She realises the numbers aren't there, and then she gets this big juicy target of Will that she's been wanting out for so long.
You can't fault her.
I think it's too much to resist. I don't think we can really put too much blame on anyone here. I think the plan, it was a good plan, but I think you picked the wrong people.
Yeah, it wasn't, again, you've got to give it a go. Better to die a quick, painful death than a long one.
Yeah, 100%. I think, for all future players, this is a plan I fully stand behind, okay? If you know that you're on the bottom of an alliance, fucking do something about it. Yeah. Look, don't let yourself get dragged to 4th or 5th place and then get voted off. That's fucking lame. It's boring. No one wants to watch that back.
You only win if you come first. But at the end of the day, if you come third and you don't win, you're still a loser. So, I mean, there's some things making the merge is better than going out before, but it gets to that point where
you can always run a redemption challenge and get to the merge anyway.
Yeah, I think just it's better to play the game to try and win than to try and come in the top however many.
Yeah, I think play to win. You know it's going to be a final two. Okay, it just will. It's Survivor Southampton, so you need to play it to the point where you guarantee yourself to be at the end. Yeah. So you may as well go around and make final two deals with everyone. That's just for starters, and then get yourself into a core group that you're in the middle of, what you saw with the Ruba tribe, like Big Dog's right in that middle with with Isaac and Lenny, and then eventually Divya joined that, and then that group was always going to survive through that. As it so happened, they were the only ones that survived through that because they kept losing. But if you'd have gone in, like, you would have made it through with Will and Lucy, eventually they didn't come back. At this point, the four of you are still the core of that alliance, so your plans were presumably knock out all the blues, then knock out them. Will and Lucy probably,
and then me.
Okay, so that's, you're under the impression that you probably go then. I think, to be fair, I'd probably co-sign that. I'd be surprised if they...
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I went out before Will and Lucy either.
Yeah.
Just because, when you have a reputation as a rat, it's... You can't really get rid of that.
So speaking of your reputation as a rat, the final thing I've got in my strategy session is that you have a chat now with Isaac and Big Dog. Now, was this... It's a tough one. Would you have tried to avoid them, or would it have been too obvious if you had avoided the more strategy session?
I think, I had to just sort of... I don't think I could avoid them, so I had to go in pretending that I wasn't doing what I was doing and hoping that everyone had been subtle. Obviously they hadn't, but... I'm not going to tell them outright that I'm going for them. Even if they know, I'm still going to lie just for the sake of it.
Can you talk to us about what was going through your head when Big Dog says that he said that you were throwing out his name and you bat that away, and then Isaac says that Isaac says that he's heard that you've been saying his name, and you then say, who have you heard that from? And he says, Holly. She's not much of a liar.
Look, at this point, I know I'm fucked. But you just got to stick to your guns. There's nothing that can be done. Once you've started this, you can't just go back on your word at this point and say, oh yeah, no, only joking. Yeah. They know you're doing it. So stick to your guns. Hope that for some miracle your plan works. And... but at this point I know I'm fucked.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the game as well, because even regardless how it turns out, you know that it's going to be very funny to watch back.
Doing it for the content.
Yeah, because at that point you know that you're all lying to each other, and that is beautiful.
It is objectively a very funny conversation, and do you know what? From Isaac, that is an incredibly funny line. If I wasn't at the receiving end of it, I'd be absolutely crying.
Yeah, I got a good kick out of watching that one back. Which is Isaac basically saying, so you're essentially saying that Holly is just lying for no reason.
To be fair, Holly, a great liar, as we found out this episode.
Yeah, Holly looks you dead in the eye and shakes your hand as well.
Yeah, do you know what? Shout out Holly. I did not think she had it in her, and she proved me wrong. And do you know what?
Yeah.
Rare I'll clap someone, but...
Yeah, Oscar gave you props last episode as well. I think I cut it out because he was talking about this episode, because I think he said he was filming one of them, and he saw Holly just brazenly lying to someone.
Yeah, it's just... you know what? Gotta respect it.
Yeah, that's how you play the game. And shout out to Holly for doing that. So, Lenny, we take it to Tribal Council. A couple of notes I've got here. Strath, what do you think of this gameplay? He's saying that he's shocked that people haven't voted him out. Is this good for the cause?
Not great for the cause. Incredibly funny though. So you've got to balance that out with your Tribal Council answers.
Got to give the crowd what they want.
It's always worth getting a laugh, even if it impacts your game.
So I was thinking this time, strategy, you're not going to be immune. You have, at this point, you have to be immune for final 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. You have to win 6 more immunities now. Because you just told everyone that
you're going to win that.
You just told everyone that they're stupid for not voting you out. You've got to assume that they're at least going to consider voting you out at some other point now. So, interesting gambit there from Strath. Sock says that he's going to play his own game. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's great until there's 6 people left and they all want to vote you out. Can't really play your own game at that point.
We could have taken the piss more had you tried to rev him in on the plan.
Yeah, I think Sock's played it well this episode.
Yeah, I don't think I think Sock, in a dream world, him and Lucy join you here.
Yeah.
And then we can debate whether that was a smart decision or not.
I'm the smuggest bastard on this podcast.
All right, okay, let's talk that through then. Let's assume that you were able to... should we say instead of picking Holly, you spoke to just Sock and Lucy?
Yeah.
Do you think that goes off? Or do you think Sock and Lucy are just Because Sock's having to work with Strath in this scenario.
I still don't think it works.
Right.
Watching it all back, I think it's just also Strath's just very chaotic, and I think it would have just all blown up somehow.
Yeah, you think Strath blows up anyway. Do you think Sock immediately runs back, or do you think Lucy still feels tight enough to Big Dog that maybe she wants to sort of...
I don't know. I don't think Lucy would be the one to... I don't think Lucy actually did at any point like properly rat us out.
No, that's true.
Like, she just took on the information from both sides and picked the better one. So I don't think it'd be Lucy. I think Sock probably would just tell them the plan, potentially not. But had they had joined us, God, what a glorious rest of the game it would have been. I'd be sat wearing a crown.
I don't know, talk that out. So if that five gets together, do you think you finish the job? Does Holly and Divya and Big Dog leave as the next three?
I assume we immediately, especially if Big Dog's idol does come out, we immediately go in for the kill on Big Dog. That would be... I think everyone would be, after voting Alice, would be fairly down for that.
Or do like Sock and Strath immediately turn on each other? Like, I can't see really any of them wanting to be that loyal to you for very long.
Well, yeah. I don't know, maybe it'd be better to just sort of take a back seat after that and see what other people want, so they don't think of me as the kingpin. But I think I'd be happy enough knowing that little trio's broken up and that the game's, even if Big Dog and Divya are a duo, because I'm still not thinking about Holly, that there's much less a threat to me there. So
yeah, it's a lot more open game at that point. Who wins in that scenario?
In what scenario?
Isaac leaves this episode because Lucy and Sock have joined you guys.
I think Lucy and Sock are the real winners at that point.
What do you think? One of them wins the game?
Yeah, because I think at that point they're in such a position where you've got Holly, Divya, Big Dog on one side, then us three on the other side, and I think they can just pick whichever side they want. And
you still got Holly's idol though. Who gets idled out by Holly's idol?
Oh God,
who gets shafted?
It'd be me, wouldn't it?
Probably is.
Probably
you.
Me next episode. Yeah. So either way, I'm fucked. Unless I do what Strath's planning to do, win every immunity till the end.
Yeah, that's true.
If only you bring out the Survivor quiz next episode. I think that's the only thing that...
Is that you back yourself in that one?
Yeah, because there'd be questions about actual Survivor. But only I'd be equipped to answer.
I'm sure there'd be a few about Survivor Season 1.
Which again...
If anything, that would be unfair, actually, thinking about it. Well, then it's on them for leaving you in the game for long enough to...
They should have watched it.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people did.
There'd be a question where the answer would be the alligator. It'd just be 1 point to me. Max behind laughing behind the camera. That'd be it.
Okay, what else happens at Trump Council? Isaac tells everyone that he has a deal to the Final Four with Big Dog.
It's just so open. Why is everyone just saying stuff out loud? It's crazy to me. But it's just supreme confidence.
Will says that he saw an idol get found.
Yeah, this is... I just wouldn't say that. I don't know.
What was your reaction to this, though? Were you just... did you have any idea of who it might be at this point?
I had, honestly, no idea. I wouldn't have guessed Holly. I don't know why Will didn't tell us, because it does seem like crucial information.
And finally, Lenny, I asked you quite a simple question about something about who's going to go home or something like that, and you say, the person with the most votes.
Yeah.
So I obviously have to descend upon you. So I ask you who you're voting with, and you tell everyone that you're voting with that you were given a name by Isaac and Big Dog. What was the thinking behind that?
Bad to respond to your question in such a sassy way.
Yeah, obviously that goes without saying.
But again, you balance it up for the laugh you think you're potentially going to get. So I'd say it's worth it. If I was watching it back, I should have just said that Isaac and Chris told me to vote for Sock, just to see, one final Hail Mary.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, like, you got to just keep it vague, haven't you? Give some kind of fluff answer, like Holly was given earlier, just like, I think there's a group of us that have come to an agreement, that kind of crap.
But what can you do?
I think it's always risky outing alliances at tribal council, especially when you're claiming to be part of another alliance at the time.
Yeah.
I think it worked for what you're trying to pull, but the other players probably, like the strats of the game, probably didn't realise that was what you were doing. Okay, so we get to the vote. Will and Big Dog made a lot of eye contact during this, which was quite funny. If you watch that back, I know I'm stood in the way because for some reason Ben Roberts is filming it directly behind me, so you can't see Will all of the time. But there's a lot of great moments of Big Dog just smugly looking over and Will just like...
God, he's such a prick. He's on top and he knows it.
And shout out to Will in his final speech, already campaigning for season 3. So
yeah, he'll be there. If he's definitely top of the invite list.
Oh yeah.
Well, obviously I'm top of the invite list.
We did have a couple of interim scenes that I'll just message while I've got my notes up. We have Max and Big Dog boxing.
Yeah.
Got any context behind that one, Lenny?
I actually don't know what happened. I feel like I have other videos of boxing in our back garden from the Fast and Furious social.
I think this one was like either just before or just after that.
It might have been, we had a practice barbecue the night before.
Yeah,
So
yes.
I think it might have been of that. But
that's like the core of the family, I guess.
I think I have like a Fin Wang boxing sock video on my phone somewhere. I feel that exists. I feel like Fin Wang was actually like probably going for it.
All right, send that to me. That'll go straight in the next episode.
And then my favourite photo of all time, where Strath and Max came dressed to a social with the exact same outfit. just incredible.
Yes, that was the photo that Oscar sent me in the previous podcast. Yeah. I think when I was editing it, I was in Southampton at the time. I didn't have the photo, but that was the photo we're discussing. It made its way into the episode. So
just fantastic.
Yeah, some fan service out there. And the other one, Lenny, we have Noel appears to be walking down the stairs waving a broom while we're singing Happy Birthday. What's going on there?
Well, I mean, if you don't know the reference, then
then you're a fake fan.
But if you don't know the reference, I personally would recommend that you watch seasons 1 through 9 of Peep Show, and you'll see in there at some point. It's that was working week, right, when he came to cook that curry for us. I'm guessing that's when that took place.
Yeah, it's during the working week of that year. So Noel's working week personal challenge was a bit odd because he was going around to people's houses cooking for them, but then he was reviewing the experience.
It was like a kind of like, come dine with me, but
Noel was cooking each time. Yeah,
but he was doing the ultimate rating, which was he just fixed anyway.
Oh yeah, obviously. Because the aim was whoever got the highest rating would they cook for Noel? Is that what
I think they would cook for Noel and Eloise.
Right, okay.
I don't know if that ever happened, but we didn't win.
It was an absolute joke. Wait, so who did he visit? First night he visited...
oh, God.
Because we were second night.
Yeah, we were the second... I think we were like lunchtime on the second day.
Who was the first night? Because they didn't get a particularly high rating. Who would it have been?
I don't know. God, it must really have been Chaff.
Yeah. All right, we know that he visited Josh Stevens later on in the week because that was the year that everyone got really ill.
Oh, yeah. He visited Isaac the day after us.
Yeah, okay. He got Will Jeffrey on the last day, I think. So who did he hit on the first night? Who would it have been? Who was in the club at the time?
Like Rachel, maybe.
Was there anyone in the game? Anyone from Southampton?
I don't know. I really have no idea. Because I remember we beat them in scores, so I was very happy. And
they got like a 7 and they were quite good.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to win at that point because how are you beating that Happy Birthday?
Yeah. So Noel came over and I think you kept him company because I was doing working week stuff in my room or something like that. So I was busy anyway. So you were chatting to him or something while he was cooking.
Yeah.
Then he cooked us a curry. Then Max and TG Robbo surfaced. Oh no, didn't we like buy him we bought him a cake or something like that?
Yeah, I think we definitely got him a cake. Max gave him the Guinnesses that have been sat in our they're probably they're probably on show in Survivor Southampton season 1.
Yeah, I imagine so, yeah.
But been sat there a long time. We gave them to Noel. I think we were doing everything in our power to put on a good show.
I think like Veronica might have had like some tea lights or something, so we must have lit them like they were candles just to put on the table for like the ambiance.
It was very very classy, very good.
Yeah.
Some would say unbeatable.
Yeah. Like we had some good banter. I think. Yeah, we were ready to go. Oh, we sung Happy Birthday in different languages.
Oh.
That was good. Who started that? Well, presumably we started in English, and then who was it that piped up with the first one?
Almost definitely Max, right? He's probably learning his Spanish at the time.
Well, he would have had the German one on lockdown.
Oh yeah, he'd also have that. Yeah.
I think I then did the Spanish one.
TG Robbo brought the Swedish.
Yeah, he had some weird Scandinavian one. Yeah. No disrespect to our Swedish fans out there. World Scout Jamboree 2011. That's it. Didn't someone then do a really weird language, or was that the TG Robbo one? No one attempted anything weirder than that. We would have done French because everyone knows the French one.
I don't know if I would have known any of them. I felt like I was probably behind the English one. I don't know any other languages. Maybe TG Robert could have pulled out a weird one. I don't.
Right, okay.
I see it being him.
But before we would have sung all the happy birthdays, okay, so we must have had the cake separately, so Noel would have cooked us the curry.
Yeah.
We would have then had it. TG Robbo get like all the chilies in his portion or something like that.
This, by the way, for anyone watching this, TG Robbo at the age of 22 at the time.
Yeah.
His first ever curry. Mm. He'd never had curry before, and I mean, shook us all to our very core. I feel when we found that out, and unfortunately, all the chili and I told Noel to put in, I think, 2 chilies instead of 1, which was also a mistake from me. So, it was way too spicy for TG Robbo, and I think it was too spicy for you as well.
I remember not eating much because I was actually about to get very, very ill, much like everyone else was about to from the working week. And it's still unknown what caused that. I stand by the theory that it was Big Ratch swimming in that disgusting river on the Common. She picked up a norovirus and gave it to everyone at the quiz. However, other people have been speculating that there was something wrong with the drinking water at the bridge that night. But personally, I think it's Big Ratch. But I was about to get very, very ill and be very, very sick. So I wasn't feeling particularly hungry because as of that evening, for exactly 24 hours and no longer, I was about to be really, really sick constantly and then just be normal again.
I got it a day later. So I at least made the social, the going out social. You missed Rohan dancing with his lamp on the Chester's dance floor.
I know.
But,
I'm still upset about that. Was this the year that we swapped clothes for the? Yeah, it was because So if
I went out in your tour vest.
Lovely. So if you're watching that transition sequence closely, so you've got Noel walking down the stairs waving the broom. We've given him some kind of crown or something to wear, and he's wearing his cow slippers.
It's the birthday crown, isn't it?
The birthday crown, yeah. So he's walking down the stairs, we're saying happy birthday. You can see Lenny, he's more in front of the camera. He's wearing one of my NH t-shirts. He's probably rocking a headband as well.
Yeah, I think was I rocking the blue one that day, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, because I was thinking yellow, but it would have been your hair that was bleached, because we were all bleached at that point. Yeah. And
I will say I look like a fucking idiot that way, wearing your clothes with freshly bleached hair. And if anyone's not aware, I'm maybe a foot taller than Mike.
Yes. I was wearing Lenny's clothes, also with freshly bleached hair and a freshly shaven face. So I think
the baggy fit, you could at least pull off the comically tight trousers, shin height. I don't think anyone can pull that off.
Yeah, should we just stand up for the benefit of the and obviously if you really want to see, there you go, now you can tell. You can see in season 1 when I obviously snuff Lenny's torch, but I don't want to lift it up and then ruin alright, let's do it anyway. I mean, you can't really tell from this, but
there you go.
I actually look a bit taller than I normally would. I'd say I'm about up to your...
Yeah, you make it to the bottom of my head.
Okay.
But, it's a reasonable height difference.
All I'll say was when we first met back up today and we shared a warm embrace, you were a lot taller than I remembered.
Yeah. Well, and I had to... It was an awkward hug because I had to navigate because I was holding the slice of cake in one hand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And toothpaste, presumably.
Yeah. And it was also in the middle of boots, which...
Yeah. That was Lenny's choice of meeting place.
Well, it was meant to be outside boots. I thought I'd be able to make it in and out in time.
It wasn't. Okay, so imagine you're meeting up with a friend, okay, and you make it all the way to the train station. I travelled, as I said in the intro, 630 miles to be here. Admittedly, I made a couple of
All in
detours.
one go.
Yeah, and I get to the train station, and then he's just like, "Oh, instead of meeting at the train station, can you walk to like the nearest Boots, which is like 4 minutes away?" Like, okay,
Well,
fine.
you would have been waiting at the train station.
But it was just a very odd request. So
I didn't get out my tutorial until 5 to 5, so it was the quickest I could have made it, and I was just like, Boots, perfect. I need to buy toothpaste anyway. That's a great meme.
yeah, it made sense once you revealed the toothpaste.
Maybe
thing.
I
It was
should have
just-
explained
It was
it.
just an odd request at the time. I was
The
just like,
problem was,
yeah.
it was hard to properly text because I was holding the slice of cake I had in one hand.
Do you have any more intel on this cake? What flavour is it supposed to be?
It's called like Basque cake after the
region in Spain?
northern Spain / southern France.
What is that? Is that controversy now?
No, it carries over because
Oh, is there a bit in France?
yeah, there's a bit in France.
I always thought it was very Spanish.
No,
Wow.
yeah, it's a fun fact for anyone
There you
at
go.
home. Yeah, I don't actually know what the cake's sort of made out. It sort of looks like a quiche, to be honest. But I fucking hope it doesn't taste like a quiche. I imagine it's quite a lot of cream.
I really, really hate quiche. If Noel Clarke had cooked his quiche, I'm not sure I even would have
You
tried
don't
it.
like quiche?
I fucking hate quiche.
Maybe it's because you've just had bad quiche, though.
I will do anything in my power to avoid quiche.
Do you know what? If you put a full quiche on this desk right now, I'd eat it.
We've now said quiche too much that it sounds like it's no longer a word. Quiche.
So if you're still listening at this point, comment below what's your favourite flavour of quiche.
I want quiche as the hashtag for the episode, please.
And if you ever meet up with me anytime soon, make sure to buy me a quiche. Perfect birthday gift for me.
But when I was coming over, I was just like, oh, I should probably, like, I went past a couple of Sanos, I was like, I should probably get him something.
No.
I genuinely couldn't think off the top of my head of anything that I was just like, what does Lenny really like? And I couldn't think of anything.
Could have had quiche followed by a quiche looking dessert. It's the perfect meal.
Next time I come over, I'm bringing a quiche.
I like the quiches with ham in as well, if you're at home.
Right,
That's
okay.
the one I'd probably go for.
What did you think about, wasn't there like a coronation quiche? What is that?
Coronation cake?
Yeah, you know how there's coronation chicken? That was made a thing when Queen Elizabeth got coronated.
I'll admit right now, not an expert on quiche. I don't know what any of them are called.
You're not putting yourself as a group expert in quiche.
Obviously, there's one named after Lorraine.
Yeah, quiche Lorraine, of course.
But I don't know what flavour that is. I just think it's a funny thing to call a quiche. But you just always see them served up at like sort of fancier occasion, like.
Yeah, and I will usually be avoiding them, and usually those occasions.
Occasionally, you see a quiche in the mass building when they've got out food for like a conference. And
Like, let's put it this way:
there's always leftover quiche.
if we're catering for Survivor Southampton season 3, and Veronica or whichever, God bless them, member of crew gets the short straw of being responsible for the catering, and they bring along a quiche, then I'm not sure I'll let them do any filming that season.
Nothing wrong with a quiche.
If in season 3 I ask people to bring along food and someone comes along with the quiche, they will start their first travel council with a vote already to their name. All right, you've heard it here first.
I do that for the love of the game.
Anyone bringing along a quiche, I will cast a vote for you at the first travel council. All right. Right. Is there anything else other than to chat a bit about Will? I guess, fan corner we'll get to. I mean, obviously the episode title, the other main contender was the skin of my tinny tin teeth.
Maybe not an episode title, but the quote of the season, in my opinion. So,
all right, we'll have to remember that for the final episode when, presumably we'll have loads of awards to give out. I don't know. Maybe should we do that?
we could do awards.
All right, we'll have to try and keep track of what happens over the next few episodes. What award category should we have?
We can just do the ones you do for your draft.
Oh yeah, but I didn't have things like best quote or anything.
Yeah, well, we can add a few in, but definitely the ones on your draft.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So we're making physical certificates and
Yeah.
eventually passing them around.
We'll cut bits. We'll tear bits off your Jamie Reed Participation Award. And
Imagine receiving a certificate as good as that, though. To be fair. If you can't see on the video, then maybe you should have participated in the working week 2 years ago. And you have one yourself. I think there's loads of certificates behind it as well. I don't know if there's, or maybe there's one.
Oh, there's definitely something there. Wow.
There you go, Centurion.
Centurion. That's big.
That's a big one.
Who signed that? I see you've signed it.
Yeah, obviously I had to sign all of them.
Josh Stevens, legend. Who's the other one then?
They'll be on this one as well. Josh, Mike. Oh, you.
Oh, it was Will.
Will.
Will, okay. I thought that looked like
Was
a
Will on
W.
the working week committee? He must have
Yes.
been. Was he doing... What was he
We
doing?
made him do the... Did he do the scavenger hunt that year?
No, Josh was doing the scavenger hunt.
Oh. What was he doing? Was he just the president then?
No, I was the president.
Oh.
What did we bring him in for?
I thought he did... I remember he did something and was very good at it.
Yeah.
I thought it was this... I think it was a scavenger hunt. No, because Josh Stevens did that. No, did he do like the weird like spoon span thing? Like that challenge?
Oh, was that him? Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Unless it was you.
No, that wasn't me. Cause
That was the clock block one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was taken out by illness, otherwise I would have been a fierce competitor in that one. But I did get Teresa's grandma, so...
Yeah, I think I was pretty done. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much for Will for taking over from us on that one. I think we just kind of had to hand him the reins of the whole thing at that point, didn't we?
Yeah, we were both out on the Thursday.
Yes. I was out for the whole Wednesday. I think I was just coming back in for the Thursday.
And then I was dipping out.
Yeah.
What a disaster.
Wow. Do you remember when it snowed? Like, it snowed that night between the Wednesday and Thursday.
Did it?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I remember going outside at like 2 a.m, having just woken up from like the depths of the fever. And
I would have been in the Edge.
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know why we left Chester's that night, but
Right, okay.
gutted.
Guess it's just where the night and Rohan's lamp leads you.
Yeah, I was there, and like I think it was just like Rohan was there, and then like I remember Angus and Maria being there, if you remember them.
I remember Maria. Oh yeah, I remember.
A very short stint in the club.
Yeah.
But I did look good in your toolkit. It fit me perfectly.
Okay, yeah.
Probably the only one of those toolkits.
Was that the one that was the basketball?
Yeah, the one that's just massive on
ludicrously
everyone.
big.
But
Yeah.
luckily, our high difference meant it's the only thing you owned that fit me reasonably well.
Was there a moment in Jesters where Rohan plugged in his lamp and then turned it on and everyone just went crazy?
No, it's just like we were basically just all dancing with the lamp being held in the middle. It was fantastic. Rohan, second best challenge that I'd ever seen in the working week.
Yes, yeah. It's definitely up there.
I'm putting mine at the top.
That was good. It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jam's not touching water was another personal favourite.
I wish I was there for that.
That was a good one.
Jam doing the Jacob bomb tally on his arm. It's a great story.
What were other... Ollie never being able to use the same toilet. That's another good one.
That is.
I did enjoy my one of sleeping in a different place each night. That was fun. Just kind of getting to know different
Jam
skills.
having a jar of jam every day.
I think he has to eat jam with every single meal.
And he came in, I just remember the one time he came into like one of the things in the evening and he'd made like a toad in the hole and he was just so upset that he just ruined it by covering it in jam. He just seems so broken.
I think I remember him eating a garlic bread with jam. No, did we have dinner at the Mitre one night?
He had to bring the jam.
You like fish and chips, just had to put jam on it.
Such a funny challenge.
Yeah, Jam was incredible at coming up with those challenges for himself.
Just a lot of maniacs in the club. The one where the COVID, where Callum Watson made a different film every day.
That was very good.
That was incredible.
Great for the COVID year. I think his other one where he had to just be with you at all times.
Yeah, Callum had 2 years and he smashed it out of the park both times. A proper working weakling.
Yeah. The working as weakling.
Yeah.
Definitely one of those 2 years.
In my first year, where he followed me around. He just picked me to a real shared title, really.
Yeah, I think so. And he was very magnanimous in his speech. I think
a good man.
Yeah, he did want to share it with you at the time. We've only got 9 players left that were in this episode.
Yeah.
Can you rank their gameplay in this episode? Not necessarily like, oh, this person's 10 out of 10. Just like in order. Just like I think this person played best. This person.
Well, I think Big Dog's at the top.
Yeah, I think we got to put Big Dog up there for this episode.
And then probably Holly, maybe. I'd say Lucy as well is definitely up there in terms of like. Obviously, Isaac and Divya, great, but they're not actually having to do anything.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, I guess we can give Holly the credit for sort of being close enough to both alliances.
Yeah.
Where like you were gonna tell her the plan.
Yeah. But I think maybe Lucy second, because she does just play it very well. Do you not think?
I think Lucy played it well, but I think overall the decision was taken out of Lucy's hands.
Yeah, but at least she's,
Well, in that case, should we put Holly second for this episode?
Yeah.
But based on the fact that if she goes to the end with Isaac, Divya, and Big Dog, and they vote her off in 4th place, then we're gonna take that away from her this episode.
and then I put Lucy next, and then probably, Isaac. I don't know where to put myself and.
Where do you
Will.
rank Isaac and Divya who goes above who in this
Probably
one?
Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac was in trouble there, I think. Yeah, okay.
And then obviously Strath, me, probably at the bottom.
I think where does Will go? Because I think Will plays
well.
Yeah,
But
but he doesn't go above Isaac or Divya at all.
Maybe, but ultimately he does go out. So
Yeah, but I don't think he really made too many. I think in a lot of episodes you could argue that Will deserved to leave, but not in this one. Not in this one. Will, Isaac, and Divya. I think Isaac will be above because he kept himself in the game with a bit of help from Big Dog.
just quite a quiet episode from Divya.
Yeah,
But
I think she was, a bit of a homie for not letting it slip, but the plan got slipped anyway. I put Will above Divya for this one. I think Sock is a bit of a nothing in this episode because
similar to Divya,
he wasn't included in any plans.
And then I'm going to put myself above Strath.
Yeah,
I'll give myself that because I didn't go and tell Divya the plan.
Yeah,
at the very least. Though Strath, does at least.
But you both win immunity, so does that amp you up? According to the other players, it would. But,
according to me, it means nothing. But
yeah, I mean, it's certainly not looking good for you in the next 2 episodes. You did say at the time, this is at the time Will's getting his torch snuff, you say, Strath might not know it right now, but I definitely know that me and Strath are the next 2 to go.
Straight away, I'm just like, yeah, well, we're fucked. Everyone else is against us. It's over. And then, I had to go upstairs and face Divya, Chris, and Isaac eating lunch in my room. I just had to walk in, just like, you alright, guys?
At the time, so what do you think happened at that vote? Obviously Will must have voted for Isaac or Big Dog.
Yeah, and I would have said Will vote for Isaac, I vote for Isaac, Strath vote for Big Dog.
Okay, so you think that it was Will and Strath, so they were the ones that stuck with you. You didn't think, maybe one of them.
No, I think it would have been them 2 that stuck with me.
Okay.
And then everyone else, I'm thinking in my head, rats, and a lot of them, rats and snakes.
All right, let's get into Will Jeffrey a little bit then. I think one of my favourite characters this season. I'm not afraid to say it.
Fantastic man.
Yeah, excellent television. I think incredibly funny, great confessionals. I think great from start to finish. To be honest,
just cemented himself as the top character in the first episode, where he told a blindfolded Lucy that she's just gonna have to take it from here on a puzzle.
Yeah, and I don't think he ever really took his feet off the gas. Like, if he's not trying to blindside Lucy, he's trying to ally with her. What a relationship the 2 of them had. And ultimately, Lucy is the one that comes out on top, Lenny. Is this a big victory for Lucy? Should we be hyping her up even more
I
here?
think she's got to be, even though she wasn't directly responsible, she's got to be very happy that in the end she has won out.
I will say I did speak to Lucy very recently, and she did say that one of her favourite parts of the game was beating Will. So
it's deserved. Well, I'd say.
Lucy and Will, of course, in action together over the weekend, playing some frisbee.
Made Div 1, I heard.
Yeah, I was very, very interested to hear. Hopefully, when we get Will on, we can find out if their good relationship in the game translated to good on pitch chemistry.
I was really looking forward to watching Skunks 1 versus Bristol 1 over the weekend.
Yeah.
But instead I went onto the Facebook page and I saw Skunks 2 versus Falmouth being streamed, and not the actual game that clearly, out of everyone wanting to watch a game, no offence to the Skunks 2s, no one wants to see that. I'd be surprised if any of you want to see that.
Yeah.
And why was the semi-final of the tournament not being streamed? What the fuck was going on there? Absolute joke.
Like, come on, no one wants to see Skunks 2 win 8-0 to Falmouth 2.
It just matter.
Yeah, in what, the 13-16 or something
We
like
sat
that?
on the sicko benches wanting something to watch. Yeah, absolutely gutting.
Yeah, he hates it. But, I guess, shout out to who would have been on that team? Sock, Isaac,
William.
Lucy, Will.
Holly.
And Holly, yes.
Holly.
Yeah. All of them making Div 1 Nats. But not winning.
Yeah, but Bath are stacked. Nothing they can do.
Yeah, Bath are going to dominate this year. Was anyone significant on the twos? Oh, Ben and Billy, both in action as well on the twos.
Oh,
yeah. Shout out to those bad boys of the game. Will Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
He was at least trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not it was the right thing or not strategically, whether or not it was the smart move socially as to where he was in the game, whether or not his read on the tribe dynamics was correct, he was still trying to do stuff.
He was playing to win.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
He was playing to win.
That's the saddest part of this episode. We lose someone that's really committed to trying to actually win. Yeah, you hate to see him go. I remember being upset at the time, having to snuff his torch for the second time. Will Jeffrey, though, Lenny, now joining the elite club. Just old Will Jeffrey and Sam Sorensen, the only players to be voted off twice in a single season as Survivor Southampton.
Yeah, well, there is going to have to be, well, not necessarily anymore.
Yeah, it could just be a club of two.
If for some reason Strath and Lucy make it to the end. I mean, Lucy, it very much could happen, but Strath, I think it would be a near miracle if he's not voted out. Yeah,
look, at this point in the game,
it's not looking good for me, Strath, is it?
Do you have anything to say about your time on Ruba with Will, playing with him throughout the game? Obviously, having to vote him out, then he comes back. Like, what a journey for Will.
I really like Will. I was sad the first time I had to vote him off because. Yeah, it had to be him or Divya, so I didn't want to do that, and I'm glad I didn't have to vote him off again. I'm glad I was, a man that's going to die by his side.
Yeah. Oh God.
Leading one heroic charge to our deaths, me, him, and Strath.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I was in the game, I would have been on the floor of that battlefield with you. I would have been bleeding out.
Better to go down like that. So. Got a lot of respect for Will for joining the cause.
Another person very keen to thank Will be Sock, who definitely goes this round without all this going
Sock,
down.
If you're watching this back, you're a lucky man that we decided to do this and keep you in the game.
How many buys has Sock had this time? Because he got his life saved last week by Big Dog, who just kind of on a whim seemingly decided to keep him. How about the week before? Was he in good shape there? Was that when it was him or Ben that week?
Yeah, but
then
he just always seems he's always getting out of trouble. It keeps people always bring up his name, and to be fair to him, he's still there.
Yeah, we have briefly had a very short-lived, as of from last week, segment of talking about Sock's strategic misplays. I think the only glaring one tonight being just telling a player that he's got an alliance with someone that he unprompted.
But then he went and voted him out. So
is that great strategy by Sock, sending Will to the jury, knowing now that Sock has got a good game plan going on?
Yeah, it's genius. He's just thinking a few levels above us, and
he keeps talking about the jury. Maybe he's just like, let me start sending the jurors home where they have some idea of what game I'm playing. Well, only Will Jeffrey will be able to tell us whether he was bearing that in mind as he was headed to the jury. As his torch was being snuffed, was he thinking, this again? Or was he thinking, I'll tell you what, Sock though. He's got more going on than I gave him credit for. Let me go and tell Ben and Noel. And Oscar, of course. But yeah, first Ruba to drop post-merge.
Yeah. We're, at least, I might not be with them, but up the Ruba.
Yeah.
With a dominant tribe now.
Any final words for Will?
Oh, I think that covers it. Great man.
Yeah.
Shame he wasn't here tonight.
Yeah, as we say, we'll try and get a deep dive with Will, get a few more of his takes, hopefully a few controversial thoughts on what happened in the rest of the game. Episode title, we've already covered that fairly thoroughly. Two main contenders, and we went with Big Dog's one. Next, fan corner.
Yeah.
Fan corner.
I was going to remind you though.
Okay, so for the benefit of the uninitiated, fan corners, where I take to the streets to find out what the fans have been saying about this episode. Obviously, big episode here with a big strategic swing being made. Will Jeffrey leaving the game? I know a lot of people had a lot to say about him over the course of the season. A lot of Lucy fans out there as well. So is this going to be a big party for Lucy? All right, let me see. Let me see what we've got going on here. Decent amount of feedback this week, Lenny.
Yeah. I've never seen the feedback in person.
This is where it's all been collated. All right, I've got my spies there, just getting everything collated for me. Okay, so apparently in the recap before, I felt the need to remind everyone that Lenny and Big Dog are gearing up for the Dance of the Dragons here, in case some people weren't paying attention. So yeah, I really felt like I had to
make it clear.
Yeah, had to make it clear what's going on. We're really getting...
you win this time, Big Dog.
Yeah. Big Dog wins the battle, but Lenny, will he win the war?
No, absolutely not. I'm left on the battlefield surrounded by men on horses, and I've got one sword. Strath's lying head first in the mud next to me, still just about breathing.
Where's Sock? Is Sock just facing the wrong way somewhere?
Sock's just riding about the background.
Sock's still putting his armour on. Big Dog's killed about 6 people. How's everyone else looking in this one?
Yeah, they're all just with Big Dog surrounded.
Yeah, Isaac's like really dressed up, but he's got no blood on his shield or anything.
Oh, of course, Isaac is that like you've got the king and then that really scary knight next to him. That's Isaac.
Yeah, but he's the knight that like no one ever want to go near because no one wants to fight it. Although apparently Will Jeffrey did.
Will Jeffrey loves to scrap and his head's been removed. So got what was coming there.
Okay, I do wonder if without Lucy, Sock would just wander into traffic. There we go. It's been pointed out before.
I guess we'll find out.
Finally, Strath follows through on his promises. Okay, yeah, some people giving Strath props, but what do you think of that? Do you think was it too late? Should he have held it on even longer?
Should have just found the idol himself.
Do you think he should have waited for the immunity challenge, find out if he wins immunity, and then done it?
Yeah, if you've got immunity, then you could just... I mean, what I would have done is just found the idol.
I mean, to be fair, would you have done? Because you didn't even look for the idol this time.
Well, I wasn't trying, but if I was trying, you've seen me when I'm trying. I opened up that DJ2 Hero set in seconds.
All right. Okay, poor Isaac looks so depressed. I assume this is when we were still looking for the immunity idol. Divya apparently hit a clutch shot. That was a good shot, to be fair, when she knocked out her pin and it was right up against the basketball post.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good from you and Divya. I was worried that they were just going to get stuck there.
Yeah. You could have had a little reset or something.
Yeah, it might have come to that later on.
But I'm just too skilled at monkey.
People excited that you and Strath won immunity. I think, yeah, definitely goes far in your big battle against Big Dog. Is Isaac in trouble then if Big Dog is very publicly iled up? Or do we force him to play it now so it's out of play? A lot to consider. Yeah, it seems to be that the fans thinking along similar lines to you and Strath here. The viewer appears to be thinking along similar lines to you. So it does appear that you have your pulse on the game. Or maybe was that the fact that because that was what you thought and hence led to this move, is that the only reason why we're being presented with the edit in such a way?
Potentially. But I think I made the right play. I'll stand by it. I'd do it again.
Yep. Cigar wafers. Yeah. Then just some of the snacks that we have. That was a decent quote from Strath. But he got out quoted this episode, unfortunately. Oh, Holly finding the idol, of course. A lot of people big fans of that.
That was good. Yeah.
Oh, I also want to shout out to the idols themselves. You didn't get to see Big Dogs when he played it.
Holly looked great.
It was this lizard that Veronica had made. That was genuinely really good. The snake was quite good, but the one that Big Dog played was immaculate. It's such a shame he didn't ever show it in a fucking confessional.
Veronica again, every time.
Yeah.
Just what an absolute legend of the game.
Yeah, great stuff from Veronica. Will finally gets his moment at the forefront of some strategizing here. There we go. Do you know what? I'm just glad that it happened, because every time it looks like Will's finally getting his feet under him, like Noel gets blindsided, or he gets taken out, or it turns out Isaac wasn't working with him the whole time.
And this time he does also get taken out.
Yeah,
it's great to see what he could have done.
Yeah, a lot
on the platform.
A lot of potential there. The dominant Reds, you're not one of them. Well, damn, Lenny, don't sugarcoat it. I think maybe it was just necessary, but I think Lucy did know anyway.
Yeah, I think it's better to be explicit. And I just, I feel bad for anyone thinking that they were part of that three and they're not.
I think, Lucy, underrated. I think she's clearly got a finger on the pulse of what's happening at this point. Okay. But voting out Isaac and wasting the idol, that's a big swing. That would have been very sexy manoeuvre had it worked out.
As that comes off, I'm probably the smuggest man in the world.
Of course, Holly runs straight to Big Dog and Isaac. Yeah. Right, I think a lot of momentum behind you and Strath at this point.
The old Holly rap movement. Yeah. But Holly, if you are watching, I don't think you're a rat.
Oh, this didn't come up when we were talking about it. So when Isaac asks if you guys, so Holly spills the beans about your plan. Big Dog says we're going to vote for Will, and as he's walking away, Isaac says, "Shall we tell Lenny?" And Big Dog just says no, and keeps going. Yeah, I think more credit to Big Dog. Do we think is this maybe a foolish question from Isaac?
I wish he just came and told me. That would have been great.
What do you do if Isaac comes to tell you? Do you backtrack and try and get the vote back on Sock, or do you push harder for Isaac?
I push harder for Isaac, but I go to Lucy and Sock.
Right.
I think that's the only way. Well, once the cat's out of the bag, you can't put it back in.
Yeah.
Hence the.
Although you do try at tribal when you claim that you're still working with.
That's just a complete lie. But I didn't want to explicitly tell them. I knew the game was up at that point, but I still didn't want to say it publicly.
You didn't want to say it in front of the jury.
No, exactly.
Okay, people pointing out that everyone kept saying Chris this round instead of Big Dog, but I was relentlessly putting Big Dog in the subtitles. Yeah, it's just easy. I don't know why people kept. All right,
was I calling him Chris?
I
call him Chris a lot.
It wasn't you doing it as much, but it's definitely Strath doing it a lot, and that was what I was subtitling, Strath and Will, I think. And that's the thing. When we do one of these things, we gather everyone in, and we're just like, okay, this person's like who you may refer to as Chris on occasion, which people don't. Most people call him Big Dog anyway. We're calling him Big Dog just because it's less confusion. Because otherwise we've got half people calling him Big Dog, half people calling him Chris, and then it's just irritating and it's confusing. So I got everyone together at the start. Literally, I feel like I didn't give too much instruction before the game, other than a couple of basic things, and we're calling Big Dog Big Dog.
Yeah.
All right, that was the main thing.
And we're calling Slaw.
Yeah, we're calling Slaw, and no one was going to call Sock anything other than Sock anyway, but I think I made that one clear as well. I think I gave people the option, if they wanted a weird nickname, they can go for it. But I think everyone was happy with their own name. One of the fans out there is saying that they finally figured out where they recognise Isaac from. Right. And apparently he really looks like Simon from The Inbetweeners.
Really? Simon, like... Which one's Simon?
The one that was with Carly.
Right. Not enough gel in that man's hair.
Yeah. But I think there's definitely something to that. I think... Yeah, when I saw him recently, I think less so now, but definitely I think then he's a bit more babyface then. I went to Southampton recently. A couple of Southampton players still kicking about in Southampton, namely your Isaacs, your Socks, your Lucys, Faris, Holly, Billy, Ben.
Actually, just quite a lot of them.
Didn't see Noel actually. Noel was out of town with Will. Apparently,
I saw Noel just yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Picked up the Sicko Beginners Plate Trophy.
Yeah.
I destroyed my hip on the Saturday. We had 5 players, and on the Sunday the strategy was that I'd stand in the corner of the pitch on our own end zone as we played 3-1-1 and look like I was at least part of the game as a decoy to try and take a player out.
Sometimes when I'm in front of Sack, I try and throw off my man by like stamping my feet a bit. Did you do a bit of that?
I did the occasional jab step.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'd like walk about. There wasn't really much I could do. In the final game, to be fair, we played a zone where I just stood deep, and just a couple of times they did just throw the disc badly enough that I could just sort of slowly get over and still get the D, just on the fact that I was tall. So that was good. Shout out UCL for getting absolutely battered in that play final. We gave them offense as well, so we could stay in the same kit, and then immediately turned them and scored.
Oh yeah, UCL, what an absolute joke. I swear I was speaking to someone the other day that was claiming they're from UCL, and I think
Was my sister?
No, I don't think so. Oh God, if only. Have you heard anything from your sister on the latest episode?
I don't know if she's been watching them since the return. She's been quite busy, but she's on holiday soon, so I'll tell her to get on it.
Yeah, she's got a few good ones to catch up on.
Yeah, I'll tell her to skip this episode.
Okay, back to Fan Corner. Isaac pulling a Ben with the confessional of a man in danger that isn't afraid at all.
He's just calm and confident.
The Apple Tango was a paid actor this episode for real. Where was the Apple Tango featured? Was someone drinking
Big
it?
Dog was drinking it the whole episode.
Yeah,
Just carried it
okay.
around.
He sipped it in a very thoughtful way.
I really thought when I saw the can it was going to be like an inches not an inches, but it looked like maybe a Copperberg, and I thought that's what he might have been drinking.
I think maybe one does come out at some point, because we're reaching the stage in the game where Liam Lewis made a return, so we get him for the next couple of rounds, and I feel like he brings a few things with him. Yeah, including some interesting vibes, which we'll come across that at some point. Isaac and Lenny and Big Dog being so bitchy with each other. Yeah, that's the real good stuff now. People querying the Max and Strath photo from Tribal, but pay more attention to the podcast.
It's such a good photo.
Oh, they found it in this very room. That's not a bad quote from Will. That. If we didn't have like 3 other great quotes from the episode, there's a good chance. Okay. Yeah, people keen to find out which way Lucy goes. People are excitedly anticipating the vote. Apparently Ben leaning in through the window there to film was very funny. And then obviously, yeah, as we suspected, broken hearts out there for Will leaving. But I think it's getting to the point now that whoever leaves, it's going to be
sad.
Yeah, it's going to be sad. We've gotten to know these characters so well.
I'm sure Fan Corner will really mourn my loss.
Yeah,
in an episode or two's time.
Yeah, Fan Corner is going to be,
devastated, I hope.
Yeah, ballistic, I think. People are going to riot, I've heard. The second the
Views
8 Lenny votes come in,
I'm personally going to be saying on this podcast to tell everyone to stop watching as soon as I know.
Yeah, I'm actually going to stop hosting after Lenny gets voted off as well.
What's the point?
Yeah.
That's actually how the season ends. Everyone just goes home.
That's actually... Yeah, I sat everyone down and I was just like, so we're just going to play until Lenny gets voted out.
Yeah, I kick everyone out of Westridge Road.
Yeah.
Get Max's mum.
Yeah, the second that Max and Lenny are both gone from the game, then, the game's just over at that point. Yeah, I didn't tell them before the season, so they haven't realised yet. Speaking of Westridge Road, we haven't mentioned TG Robbo. Saw him just yesterday.
Oh, man. Still sad he's not in this season.
Yeah, we mourn him, but... another player from Southampton, another alumnus.
Yeah. One of the greats.
Yeah, also doing well. Someone else that we've had the pleasure to see recently.
I'll be seeing him in 2 weeks' time.
And
if you're watching this on the 11th of November, no, the 9th of November, make sure to wish him a happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
And if this comes out on the 9th of November, happy birthday, Tom.
Yeah, that's actually probably more likely. Hey, TG Robbo, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I appreciate you watching it this far on your birthday.
What else would you be doing?
Oh, will we not teased up next episode?
Yeah, I don't really know what happens.
Okay, yeah, so thank you to everyone for Fan Corner this week. Next episode, what did we see in the teaser? We saw that maybe, even though you and Strath, it's not looking great for you, maybe you've got another ally in the game that could help you out, and maybe that person's stuck, and maybe he should have been the person you tried to ally with this episode.
Maybe, but maybe we're not all. Maybe it's not over.
Yeah, maybe you're not completely fucked.
There's a small chance.
Hey, there's still a chance. There's always a chance.
What's the challenge next episode? Are you allowed to say?
Oh, well, no, we saw a bit of it, didn't we? We saw a couple of people, bit of tug of war.
Oh God,
yeah,
tug of war.
Let's say there will be blood.
There will be blood.
There will be blood. Well, hey, maybe someone will get medevaced.
It's the closest it comes to a medevac.
That's pretty much just done for the week. So thank you to all the fans that wrote in for Fan Corner. Thank you to everyone for contributing. Thank you for making it to the end. And thank you, Lenny, for joining me again this week.
In person. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, lovely. For the If You Know, You Know, episode 14.
A very special one.
Yeah, we will obviously try and get Will Jeffrey for you. We'll keep working on that one. So, yeah. All right. I think that's all that remains. Just say goodbye and, look forward to the next episode.
Yeah. Cheerio.
See ya.